Hello everyone and welcome to this episode. In this episode I want to focus on something very, very important and absolutely vital to our success as coaches and supervisors, and that is self-care. And we talk an awful lot about how we look after our clients, and I talk often about the preparation for that and the hospitality with our clients. We need to think about ourselves, and that sort of impinges on everything that we do as coaches, because we are the product. That's what we're selling. So, if you're not fit to practice, and I'll talk about that and that phrase a lot more, but if we're not that, then maybe we're not the best advert we could be for our craft. So self-care for coaches is really that very thing, and I often say we need to put our own oxygen mask on first, and that is part for me about our honing our craft, including this in our CPD. So think about your professional development, not just on a subject, a tool or a technique or a focus in coaching, but on ourselves. What's our focus for ourselves? We must always put ourselves first, because we are the product. We can't help anyone else without it. And I want to just highlight a number of sort of opportunities, in a way, or reminders. For those of you that will have studied and qualified, you're likely to have recognised, or you're likely to recognise the FO acronym, because we use it an awful lot. And FO refers to focus, openness and energy. And I think I first saw that coined in Peter Hill's book, Concepts of Coaching, where he talks about the focus you need, the openness you need, and the energy that you need. And I would say that's a big tick. The focus and openness comes with energy. You have to have the energy to practice. And if you've heard me before, you will probably have heard me talk about what is the diet as a coach, what is your diet, what is your nutrition as a coach. Because you're moving into a zone where you're expecting yourself, and someone is paying you, whether that is in money or time or pro bono, but there is a relationship of expectation that you will be able to have the energy to sit, to listen, to be curious, to really understand. And that means that we are burning energy. We are burning energy continually. So the other tip I've often said is, if you are fortunate to have some blood work done, see where all of your blood work sits. Is there something that you could add to that? Or are you ready to fly as a coach? Is there a nutrition element that's missing? The other is to think about what's your diet as a coach. And I often talk about food to coach. What's going to sustain you? If you've got 2 or 3 sessions in a day, and those are an hour and a half, and you've got your prep and your reflection, that's an awful lot to think about. Awful lot. So you've got a relationship, a dynamic you've created, a focus, an energy, a silence with this person. That finishes. Then you start again, and you've got that again. And then for a third one, how do you make sure that the quality of the experience that you gave in session 1 is in session 3, or vice versa? How do you make sure that all fits together? Because that can be a really big ask. So really think about your focus, your openness and your energy. And I would suggest that you actually scale it. You self-assess your focus, your openness and your energy in a session, and use that for your reflection. I think that's a really good way. Some people talk to me about, how do I reflect? What do I do? And for some, having a number that gives you a regular assessment, although it's a self-assessment of your performance, is really, really helpful. Of course, you could say to your client, I am focused on you. And I want you to measure me, to give me your view of my focus, openness and energy in this session. And it gives you an anchor to start. So really think about that self-care for you and how you're going to achieve that. Because at the end of the day, your ability to be present is critical. Your ability to be silent is critical. Your ability to be curious is critical. That is what a client is expecting of you as a minimum. And that's how you're judged. So really think about your self-care. And in the next episode, you will hear much more about how maybe some tips that you can use and some techniques that I use that may well be helpful for you to start to include in your diet as a coach. Thank you.